back with more Talking Law TV, and we're here with Brian Johnson, the City Manager of Garden City. Hi, Brian.
Hi.
And I have to explain your fashion choice today. You recently had back surgery.
Yes, sir. Neck surgery on Thursday. I had a ruptured disc, old service-related injury. So
we tape on Saturday, so you're only a day out of surgery, really.
Yes, sir.
Well, super. Well, thank you so much for being here. Very few people get out of their hospital bed to come do the show.
It's an important subject, so
yeah. Well, I want to talk to you about Garden City in general. You've been around a very long time. You were founded in '39 officially, and you're the second largest municipality in Chatham County.
Well, actually, Pooler's just surpassed us just recently. We used to be up until a couple of years ago, so we're about the third behind Savannah and Pooler. The second largest, we're the second largest municipality in the state with no city property tax.
Oh, and that's the most important part.
That is.
And we're gonna get to that in a second. And then one of the big reasons you're here is we're going to talk about the proposed annexation of the Southbridge community and what's in it for them and what's in it for Garden City. So let's take the selfish approach first. What's in it for Garden City to have Southbridge as part of it, besides passing Pooler again?
Well, sure, there's that. I mean, population is an important part of this, just because population and population numbers are how municipalities get grant revenue, sales tax revenue. The more population you have, the more revenue you can get from state, from grant, from even county local option sales tax.
And that's important now because of the census that's to take place?
And that's the second is, this year is the decennial census. So it's important to, if it was going to happen, to get it done at the end of this year, because we've got to live with our population numbers for the next 10 years after this. And so, now would be the time if we're going to do it. So both Garden City and Southbridge would be able to, glean as much revenue from population numbers as possible.
So in the big picture, when someone asks what's in it for you, that's what's in it for you.
It is. I mean, you got a couple other aspects of it. Geographically, we're right there now. We just moved our city center, new city hall right across from the main entrance. So geographically, it makes sense. And the last thing is, Southbridge brings a covenant-protected residential community that's highly regarded, and it has regional name recognition. We've got some, smaller communities, residential communities in Garden City that, are a nice place to live in, but Southbridge has made a name for itself beyond even the Chatham County border, and Garden City is missing that. And so we get some prestige, if you will, some feather in our cap too, that we can kind of pound our chest and say, yeah, Southbridge is in Garden City. So there's a pride factor in it too.
I'm a little amused by some of the residents who I've read about who say that, well, I don't want people to think we're part of Garden City. I mean, how could you not go out the gate and think that when your city hall's across the street?
It is. I mean, most people, if they weren't here, would think that. When you come off, Dean Forest Road is within Garden City.
I mean, most people don't have a city hall with someplace else being across the street.
It is. I mean, it does make sense, when you don't know a lot about it. But, we have the whole being inside of a municipal boundary and mailing address. They're completely separate. U.S. Postal Service decides on zip code. That's all based on population and need. There doesn't exist a Garden City zip code. The 3 zip codes that Garden City residents currently use are all actual Savannah zip codes. You can put Garden City, Georgia on it and it'll get there, but so there's not going to be any change in that. It would just be a change in the municipal boundaries that Southbridge would find itself in, and as a result, the service delivery would come from Southbridge. The governance and and a say that Southbridge would have on its own destiny would be more clearly and directly determined, because Southbridge would now have at least one city council district that would have to be have a resident in Southbridge, maybe even 2, depending on population. And so there's a lot of advantages we see to Southbridge too.
And then you're also going to offer trash collection?
Well, yeah, we offer all the proverbial city services, public works, maintaining streets, street lighting, all that kind of stuff. Now, our solid waste collection is a little bit unique because we actually have implemented single stream curbside recycling in addition to household trash pickup. So now people, residents within Garden City can not only get their trash picked up, household trash, but then they have a second container, same 96-gallon container, that they end up putting all the approved recyclables in one can, so they don't have to have 20 cans in their garage, and wheel it out to their curbside, and it's picked up just like their household trash is.
Yeah, and I would think the hot button for most people would be security and safety. I know currently Southbridge pays off-duty metro officers somewhere between $150,000 to $200,000 a year to survey the neighborhood and make drive-throughs. But if they were a part of Garden City, then you have a municipal police department.
We do. Our municipal police department is housed in our new city hall, so it's literally right across the street. So first and foremost, response time would be very small because we're like 2/10 of a mile from actually Southbridge proper. Second of all, we offer we would offer round-the-clock police protection at no additional charge, no cost to the Southbridge residents or the Southbridge HOA. Thirdly, we can adjust depending on certain times of the week or hours or weekends or whatever to even enhance that. And then the last thing is you always run the risk when you have off-duty police officers that they don't, while they're in their off-duty status, fall into the normal process, the normal police structure. So if you had a complaint, you usually have somebody in charge, but they don't fall under a lot of the state or national guidelines that a police department does, and the police chief would have no say, no authority over that police officer. Whereas now, if you had a problem, always Garden City Police would always adhere to our current police guidelines.
And if they're patrolling Southbridge and get a call and they have to leave, then they leave. And then you have no security.
That's correct. And so, here when they fit into the overall city scheme, we have, processes in place where you have overlap when somebody has to leave. And of course, understand that there are always police officers doing certain administrative stuff at our headquarters that could jump in the car and drive in if need be, and they're right there.
Only got a few seconds left, but tell me, in the big picture, how much would a typical resident save per year by being a part of Garden City versus being in the county?
If you include property tax savings, solid waste savings, police protection, those kind of things, we're looking at about $1,004 a year, about $1,000 a year that a resident would save coming into Garden City versus
if people want more information, they can go to the Garden City website and see all of your points. And we hope you enjoyed tonight's show. If you have any questions for Brian or any of our attorneys, you can go through our website, talkinglawtv.com. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again here right next week on Talking Law TV. Good night, everybody.